this segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of economy garages. Where did it form? Who started it? That type of thing. Economy garages, before it was economy garages, the idea was formulated by a gentleman named Toby Tobias. He owned a lumberyard in Cloquet, Minnesota, and had this idea that he could put together all the building materials necessary for a building, and he even took it one step further and thought that he can pre-panelize the wall sections to make it easier for his customers to build a building. It was a very interesting idea that actually took off decently well. In the early goings, he would only sell about maybe 1-2 dozen buildings, but it caught on very quickly. He added to that idea. At one point, they started building sheds that they would pre-build at the facility and then load it on a trailer and drop them off for people. This idea gained traction over probably what would amount to about the next close to 20 years. So in about the early 90s, they started dropping the sheds and they moved into pole buildings, and they started another division called Economy Garages and Pole Buildings, but in 1999 the pole building portion was sold off to another person and they separated again. They just didn't really work well together. Completely different crews, completely different building techniques, and they really didn't work out well. But the garage portion of it, that continued on. And after the originator, Mr. Tobias, passed that company on, it became Economy Garages, and in 1989 it moved up to its present location in Hermantown. It has gone through a couple of different owners. However, the original owner, Mr. Tobias, sold it to his son, which brought on, actually had a couple of different partners. And when I came along, it was a deal between me and his partner at that time, made the deal to buy his son out of the business, and then we continued on for the next 16 years. And then in 2017, January 1st to be exact, I became the sole owner. Now, during that time frame, it has gone through a lot of changes. It was originated in 1976, as I may have mentioned. Now we're well down the road, coming up on 5 decades for a company that has gone through some changes, that has stayed in the market, but has changed enough to stay with the times and what people are interested and looking for. And the way I see it, have been in the building industry, building quality buildings. Because let's face it, if you start having a bad reputation in this building industry, there is always somebody that's going to take over what you were doing if you can't stay on top. So we have done a very good job and stand behind our quality. We even stand behind that quality with a 20-year warranty. So the company has been around a long time. I like the direction at which it's going. I really like our personnel that we have coming on board and that have been on board for many years. And we see that for the longevity of our employees. So I do believe they like what they are doing too, and it's a lot easier when you're putting out great product. So with that, that is kind of the history of Economy Garages. As we roll in now, we just roll with the times. We make changes when necessary. Our quality is top notch, and so is our safety for our employees. Thank you and have a good day.